Hi everybody, it's me. So, superautopets recently introduced a new ability for the snail, and let's talk about it. And let's talk about like the general sense of the snail and like what kind of like changes this, why they are like making these changes, and like how why I think it's a really good direction for the game to go. So like first of all, everybody knows Throw Pack. It's a pack that it's a free pack. Everyone has I think everybody that has tried superautopets have tried the Throw Pack. Is like when you register the game, you immediately get access to the third pack, and like it's really difficult. It's kind of like currently considered as one of if not the best competitive pack out there, because like how consistent it is, how good it is all across tiers. And the main reason why it can be that consistent is because how much tempo it can provide, and like how much how to say, how good it is at trying to like enable its ability. Now there is like one thing that you can make that you can guarantee to enable your ability, and like it's to make sure your pets survive. And to how to make your pet survive, it's by having HP. Now this pack probably have like two and multiple actually sources of HP that is like all the other packs doesn't have, and that are three things, which is the duck, the snail, and also the rabbit. These three packs provides the pack with like such a powerful way of getting like a lot of HP on your unit and making sure they don't like immediately instantly get traded, or like and they have time to try and like get a value from their ability, like stuff like camel, stuff like elephant, stuff like badger as well, and also there is kangaroo. Like a lot of these things benefits more the more stats you give it, and this is the things that we call like as a percent scaler. Like the more you scale the unit, the more it will scale the unit around it in battle, right? Like if you have a big camel, it will, the bigger it is, the more chances that it will have to activate ability, the more it is likely it is to make the unit behind it to be like massive. And that's there's a bunch of those kind of units exist within this pack. So yeah, having like HP makes it a lot easier. And just like in general, you don't even need like a unit that can actually like have ability. You can also just have a unit that can be so big that it's like real difficult to trade. And like having HP is so important in this game. It just makes you able to trade and like just beat your opponent's board more consistently usually. And that's where the snail comes in. And also another layer of while we're still in that topic, and that's where like stuff like a disruption pet is really good. Like if your pet got just like fainted before it can do anything, or like it's not going to be a valuable pet. Like if you have a shark is a powerful ability, but if the shark gets sniped by like a crocodile or like a snake before it can do anything, then it's not a good shark, right? So that's why disruption ability like a snake, like a mimic octo, or just like the octo in general, like a lot of the jump attackers as well, that can just like disturb the ability before it can actually activate, are pretty powerful pets. So in any case, in summary, your unit is not useful if it just like fainted or like dies too quickly within the battle, and having HP makes you able to do that. That's why garlic is one of the strongest perk as well. Like I haven't like really tested with the new garlic. They also changed the garlic as well, and I must say as well, all of these changes that I'm going to talk about is in the test server. It doesn't exist within the live version as well, but I think this is like all good changes. Now let's go to the snail. The old snail ability is to give every single unit in your board HP if you lose the last previous battle, which means that it's a really good tool to come back, right? Like if you have a in a losing position, and the snail will give you like a bunch of HP, and it's more likely for you to win the next couple of rounds. But unfortunately, this is like a pretty fake value, because like you could use snail and just like lose a couple of life and like just guarantee you to be able to win the remaining of the game, because you have more scaling from all of the stats, or like all of the life you lost and all the stats you get from the snail. So it currently have the interesting decision point of like being a comeback mechanic, but it's not really that, because in reality, in practice, you don't actually need to consistently lose, but like every single loss you just get like a million stats, and that's already like a great value, because your opponent will not be able to get at that much stat on those turns. And it is becoming like a pretty problematic pet, because again, this pack have a lot of percent scaler. This pack have a lot of ways to try and like multiply that that extra HP into like in battle tempo that doesn't really exist within the other pack. The other pack that have like similar ability to kind of like benefit from HP is the danger pack with all of the adjacent friend stuff, but this pack, third pack, is probably like one of the pack that have that ability, do that ability the best. It have a lot of ways to just benefit from having tall units. So that being said, they did change the Snail, and this is like, I really like this change. In the new version of the Snail is end turn, if you didn't win the last battle, give a chance adjacent threat, one attack. So this is a gigantic change. First of all, you don't need to lose. If you only draw, it will also activate the Snail, and it also give a positioning requirement, which makes it like much harder to use. The previous Snail doesn't have any positioning requirement. You can just like put it wherever and you just get the extra stats from it. And the new Snail, you also actually need to create the decision of putting it in between units that you want to scale, which means it will lead to the situation where and I think this is like also actually the adjacent brand might be too much. I'm not sure. I would love to hear discussion about this, but it will lead you to the position where it's going to make you position badly because you're required to be adjacent. And now you don't need to, but you can still be smart about it and still like get a bunch of value from the Snail without actually like losing too many tempo during the battle. And you can still like, because you don't need to lose, you just need to draw and you still get Snail value. So it's much more consistent to activate compared to the previous one. But and the third thing is like it gives attack rather than HP, and this is like another part that I think is like pretty good at the game. When you have units that is like just have a bunch of HP, and I said before, if that unit is impossible to beat, it's really difficult for the other person to try to like win the round, because like because you just simply cannot beat this one tall unit that have a bunch of HP and a bunch of stats. And this has been like the kind of meta for the pack, and the reason why this pack is so powerful, because like how good it is at creating tall units and how good it is of just like giving HP to its units. It creates a lot of situation where it's just impossible to kill this one unit that have been like stating for the entire time. Now, if you make a unit that is like very fragile, it's like a glass cannon, right? It doesn't have a lot of HP, but it does have a lot of attack. Same with the Scorpion. Scorpion is a perfect example of this. The Scorpion ability is like, if you just like get hurt by the Scorpion peanut, it will just insta faint at the other pets. And Scorpion is a perfect example of like a gas cannon. It have technically infinite attack, but only have 1 HP, so it's really easy to immediately get rid of the Scorpion, but it will guarantee a trade. It will guarantee for the Scorpion to just like beat the other pet that it contacted with. So yeah, like having the direction where the game becomes more attack focused rather than being like health focused, it makes it much easier for your opponent to contest your board, and it also makes it much easier for it makes it like a lot more decision making, where the positioning becomes a lot more important, which means you have to interact more. Like you don't need to get to this situation where, oh yeah, you just have like a very tall, very health heavy unit that just like impossible for your opponent to beat. Now, because like there's a bunch of attack, it's still like a powerful unit, but because of how fragile it is, it's really easy for your opponent to actually like contest that. And I really like this change. I really highly appreciate like what the new Snail is going to bring. I would love for the game to go through this kind of like phase going forward in the future, where a bunch of attack and just a bunch of like, this is also like the design principle of Golden and Unicorn, I think, where there is a bunch of ways to deal damage with your opponent, but like it's not a bunch of ways to try and like survive a trade. Like they don't have as sufficient ways of gaining HP compared to like Theropacks, so which means their unit is going to be traded or like killed in battle much faster than how Theropack can be. So, and it makes the pack like a pretty balanced in a lot of case, because it's easy to contest a board that doesn't have a lot of HP. Hopefully I'm making that point across. I just want to just like they recently added this new Snail, This video was going for it's already like too long. This was supposed to be short, but I couldn't figure out how to kind of like package the entire thought into like a 1 minute video. So I just decided to just like word salad into like a 10-minute video instead. Hope you'll enjoy it. Hopefully that makes sense, like why the snail is really powerful. And if you are like not a really avid versus player, this is like one of the problematic pet that has been requested to be changed, and finally they made the change for the snail. And I would love for the game to have this kind of like direction moving forward. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts is in the comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed that video, and goodbye.